Now I would like to call upon Sanjiv Kumar from AWS. Sanjiv is doing the other part, whatever Vijay was saying, which is all the technology, edge computing. For prop tech to work and for property sector to become sustainable, we need to measure, manage, and improve. And that can happen with data. And this data has to stay in the cloud and has to be used live. And so let's hear from AWS and Sanjeev how this data can be used to create a sustainable prop tech and built environment. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon. Thanks for intro, Jose. I'm the principal architect at AWS, and what I want to cover here that cloud means multiple things for a lot of people, and when let me. It's up down. So when you go cloud native and when you reach there, that's where you build the full, strength of a cloud. But I was wondering that if I have to do for future prop tech or any other technology and do cloud native, then how that will look like and how that will evolve. And that will be talk of my conversation today, and also taking from Jose that how the data play those roles and how you can scale on a cloud. That's my focus on next 5 minutes. So if I make everything in a cloud from grounds up, how that application and that world of application will look like. The first is that all your data, that includes every of your eco partners' data is on a cloud. That's assumption number one. The other is that you have an infinite computing space available to you, which can apply on that data. And then you can do a real data time processing. Once the data comes in your environment, there's an alert system available, there's a trigger available on the cloud, and it processes you on a real time and make it available. And then lastly, that how you want to visualize the data, all infrastructure is available online and real time. That 4 things are important and looks like if I have an entire cloud native application built from grounds up. But that's what it means. Like what the implication of that? The implication of that is that flips the world. If I'm on premises, I'm working on my laptop or my disk, I have to download my data from somewhere, my sources, and process it. It has a physical limitation. It will take to download. If it is on a cloud, my data is on a cloud, is staying there, and I'm launching the application on top of it. That gives an amazing new opportunity to scale your application. And how that happens is, you can create an amazing, data lake on a cloud. And what data lake in a cloud is that you are not writing data to a predefined schema, but you are reading, while you are reading, you are defining the structure to that data. What that means is that you can run time, you can change how your data look, how your structure look, and if your requirement has changed, your world has changed, you don't have to rebuild your data again. That gives a flexibility that how you can build your applications and be more agile and resilient on a cloud environment. And what that takes to a situation where we can move from predefined use cases and rebuild everything from dynamically on demand. You don't have to build an application जिसको किसी use के लिए बनाया है, and I can take an analogy from that building sir was talking about. In on demand, I change the application platform and do a runtime. And how that can be done. So next 2 slides I want to talk about it and take an example. So if I look at big picture, and if you look down this, prop tech or any other, smart city, you take it, you have plenty of use cases and they're evolving. And they're like, hundreds of that. You need, multiple domain, 100 use cases, multiple integrations you need to do. And how to deal with that? If you think this kind of, this entire world and kind of slash it, there's a 5 problems to it to solve. Every of these real world problems has a time element to it. It has a location, because of location, it has certain characteristic. You need to do some kind of optimization. That's why you will collect data about it. There is everywhere there is a video, so you need to understand the video. That's the video intelligence. And we speak, we express ourselves on social media, other places. So there is some kind of language understanding required. So these 5 things will actually a building block how you can achieve all those dynamically. How that will be enabled? You need enabling systems. 5, 6 things I have listed there. You need some kind of central storage, which I call about data lake. You require some kind of integration engine to integrate that way. You some kind of visualization layer. You need some kind of SOP or event management system to bring that together, and dashboarding, and that's what you will do. In a cloud environment, if I talk about AWS, all these points which you see is a service. They call it service. It's a predefined services. Underlying platforms and EC2 machines or hardware required is self-managed. And you just take these services and plug together, and you can achieve hundreds and hundreds of use cases. And how you can do it dynamically, I wanted to introduce you that term of dynamicity, which you can achieve in a cloud, is in 3 ways. One is the infrastructure as a code. What that means is that I can write software in a script, and I can launch a machine, I can launch services as I need it and shut it off. And it actually has a value of sustainability, because you're not keeping system up, you are using less electricity, you are using less network for data. So there is an element of ESG in it or sustainability in it. Second is scale in, scale out. The cloud provides that opportunity that you start slow, as the demand comes, it can scale out, and it can happen pretty automatically. And the last one is low code, no code. And that's kind of future of how the ICT will and software development will look like, where the cloud will be enabler, that you have to write a fewer code and use those building blocks, put it together, and your software is ready to use. All right. So a great analogy from there. It's a coincidence. We didn't knew that you coming beforehand, but this is the whole future of software development, which is enabler cloud. And talking about AWS kind of platform, which has hundreds of these services rolling out every day, being tested and verified, and work 100 users. You can bring in that, and software engineering becomes more of plumbing or house making than anything else. Thank you.